Listen, I already say that this year, farming games lovers are eating good, and then what do I know? I end up with this beautiful gem in my email that I have to show you. I knew I had to stream it, but little did I know what the devs have been cooking, and oh my god, is this a cozy game that you do not want to miss out on. I had such a hard time even stopping the stream to make this video. This is how you do a game right, and this is how you start to set the bar high for the farming genre. Thank you Renaissance, PR, and Seedlab for providing me with the beta version of this game. So I'm gonna show you what's in store in Starsand Island before you decide if you want to support their Kickstarter campaign or not, and remember that things can change in the final product. If you love farming games and RPGs, you're in the right space, so make sure you squish the like and subscribe buttons because I'm gonna be covering a lot of games, and I've already previewed both Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma and Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. So you get access to this character creator, which is pretty limited right now. There is a character customization option in the second Kickstarter milestone, but I would love to see basic things like eye color, skin color, hair color, etc. without reaching that milestone if the devs don't end up reaching it. However, what we see already is pretty cute, and I say this all the time, please give us some curly hair options, both short and long. So right now we have a few options for hairstyles, tops, bottoms, arm accessories, and footwear. Then you name your character and off you go. And the thing that you're gonna notice the entire time is how drop-dead gorgeous the characters are, as well as the animals, houses, foliage, and even the music is so good. The developers did their homework and they're here to deliver. Like, look at this flippin' rabbit and this adorable chick and this cute pumpsky, like, please, what do you mean? You can also adopt animals. The world is pretty big and I loved the beach. We even get to use the swing to take in the beauty, and you get to push yourself, you know, forward and backwards, and look how cute your character just throws her hands in the air out of enjoyment. You can move around the world using different transport options like cars, bikes, and skateboards. The car and bike are insanely priced though, so we couldn't buy them to try them, but we did test out the skateboard. It felt too unintuitive on both keyboard and mouse and controller, so this definitely needs a lot more work. It was too difficult to go left and right while the board was in motion, but hopefully things will get fixed because it was pretty fun to use it when it worked, and you can even do some jumps, so maybe the devs can add some fun little mini games of, oh, if you do this stunt successfully, you can get X amount of points. We also have access to both a mini-map and a general map, and I love that we can use markers to know where we can go if we get lost. The map's UI definitely needs a bit more work. We even saw some text not working the way it's supposed to, but hopefully all of this will be polished when the full release is out. The attention to detail is amazing, and you can even access so many homes. They're all decorated, and there's no loading screens apart from the initial one and the one to the mines. On top of that, you can decorate your own house, you can change the pictures inside your frames, and you're probably gonna do that a lot because you have a camera mode available, so you're probably gonna be taking a lot of pictures. You can also move things around like the windows and the decor on your house as per the Kickstarter footage. We're also allowed to place items freely in the outside area, so not only can you buy furniture, which have some amazing sets that you can purchase, but you can also gather resources and craft your own recipes. These recipes are obtained by either buying blueprints or finding these chests in different nooks and crannies. Some of these chests will have recipes inside, while other recipes can be obtained by completing quests. The building camera is in third-person point of view, and you can rotate stuff at 45 degrees. It felt pretty flexible, but I also hope we get a bird's eye view. Speaking of that, I would love to see some FOV options in the game settings, and I also saw that the camera would clip into items here and there, and it will also freak out in tight spaces, so hopefully the devs can address that. I noticed that Starsand Island seems to be a bit inspired by Fantasy Life, so here you have 5 careers to play and advance, and you can play all of them at the same time simultaneously. Each is for the purpose of advancing and becoming better, and then you're gonna get access to skills which you can dedicate these stars to, like for example investing stars to make farm shops charge you less, or using less stamina when doing X, Y, and Z. These stars are collected like milestones in Animal Crossing New Horizons or Dinkum if you've played either, so you have this app on your phone where new tasks can spawn daily, but you also have general tasks which you can complete and then claim these stars as rewards. Add to that, you're gonna need these stars to advance your career level. So what are these careers? Let's say you want to try out the animal husbandry. First, you're gonna pay 40 stars for the villager who is in charge of giving you a certificate for this. So this includes doing a task. So in case of animal husbandry, it was building a rabbit's nest. Then we placed a bunny that we've captured and we saw that you can feed them and pet them so they can stay happy. After that, we had to pay 100 stars to do another set of tasks and then unlock new mechanics in the process because we can rank up in the career. We tested out the first level of all the jobs, so here are the others. The farming one is pretty simple: till the soil, buy seeds, and grow them in the proper season. You can also use fertilizer and water them multiple times so they are ready to harvest. You're also gonna notice some weeds that will spawn. You can get rid of them yourself, or you can use a rabbit that will do the work for you. Outside of your house, you're gonna find this shipping box. This is where you can sell items. However, this comes at a cost. If you use this option, you're gonna lose a lot of money in the process. So the game recommends that you go into the shops in person to sell them and get more money. Another job is the adventurer one. This is all about using the slingshot to fight enemies and monsters. And the cute thing is that when you kill an enemy, you're not killing it. You're actually just stunning it, and then you can capture it and take care of it, which is pretty cute. This is where animal husbandry comes in because you can breed animals and they have genetic traits. You also have fishing, which is very easy, so you use your rod and some bait to get some fish. And we also saw a task regarding an aquarium, so I really hope there's gonna be diving in here and maybe catching some stuff here and there. By the way, you have a stamina meter which depletes when you gather resources, and there are repercussions if you're not going to bed and you're constantly tiring yourself out. So if you faint 3 times in a row, your character is gonna sleep for a whole day to make up for it. I like that. This gives a bit of punishment that you're gonna have to deal with. You might skip, someone's birthday because you're just being silly and not going to bed. This is really cute. Plus, I don't know why you wouldn't want to go to bed, because you change into flippin' PJs. You see this, guys? Attention to detail. The devs are cooking. Another career is crafting, which introduced us into the mines, and oh my goodness, do these mines look absolutely stunning. This is where we came across some enemies and we tried the slingshot the most. You can also set up camp to sleep and rest up, and you can use these crystals to proceed to new areas, and you can also fast travel within the mine to different areas. There's also bug catching and a list of collectible resources, including recipes, fish, crops, etc., that you can look forward to collecting. I also saw a lot of things that you can repair in the game, and someone might text you back when you do that. See, these small attention to details are amazing. We can get a message because we have done something, rather than feeling like we live in a NPC cabbage world where nobody interacts with anything that we do. I love that you get rewarded. So for example, we did one task where we fixed the swing, and then someone messaged us and they were really happy, and they also raised their affection with us. You also have a phone with various apps, so you can text villagers to get some affection points in return. You can check tips, you can see island life progress, your collectibles, etc. On to the romance. Hello, you gorgeous human being. It's Miss Bubbles. If this video is helpful so far, consider supporting me on Ko-fi or becoming a YouTube channel member. These videos take a lot of effort to make, but I love to do them so I can help you decide which games are worth your money and time. Also, squishing the like and subscribe buttons goes a long way. Let's get to the romance. So you have romanceable NPCs. Right now, there are 3 male characters and 3 female characters whose storylines are part of the main career story. The devs plan to have 8 more with independent stories to enjoy, which I think would make plenty of NPCs to romance. I don't think every game needs to be like Coral Island, where we have 569 different NPCs to romance, so this is good, especially if that means that more work is going to be dedicated to the present NPCs, which gives them more in-depth plot lines. The NPCs that we talked to in general had a lot of dialogue available already. Even tourists would ask you to take pictures of them, or they would tell you about why they love video games or whatnot. That was very cute because it made me feel a little bit more connected to them and knowing a bit more about them. So I hope more and more NPCs will feel lively with their own routines that they follow every day. By the way, you can check people's backstory and what items they love, like, dislike, and hate. You can also hang out with them and take them on dates. However, we didn't advance our relationship with anyone enough to test this out. Some NPCs have cutscenes when you meet them, and I saw that the devs mention on Kickstarter that they're going to be working on some voice-acted lines in the full release. When interacting with NPCs, you can chat, give them gifts, and in general, I love how everyone looks. They look really nice. It feels like this is an anime farming game. In terms of the Kickstarter, I'm gonna say what I always say. Guys, Kickstarter campaigns, please know that nothing is guaranteed. If you have some money to spare and give away and probably never see again, or probably will see again, do that. Otherwise, if you are limited on cash, please don't support a Kickstarter. However, I feel like this one is on the right track. Why? Because the devs have the core project of Starsand Island covered. And when I played this version, the game has just so much to offer already. So it's not like a proof of concept where it's like, oh, here's a small tiny room, try it out and pay us money to do the rest. Like, no, the core foundation of this game is already here. However, they wanted to have a bigger dream with their game to allow players to set up their own floating theme park. So they say that this has never been done in a live sim before, and that they think having a water theme park would be pretty amazing. Now that sounds great, but I wish they provided a bit more information in the Kickstarter so we kind of see like what kind of features they're thinking about. Another thing they said is that they're gonna add some more customization options. However, I don't think customization options should be locked behind milestones, especially if we're talking about skin tone, eye color, hair color, stuff like that. I don't think they would do that, but again, I don't know what kind of customization they are looking to progress and add more to. They also mentioned that the Kickstarter can help them bring more areas to explore, smoother gameplay, and more features to keep us engaged. Again, having a heads up about what to expect or what they're thinking about would really be helpful, but I didn't really find any information about that. And another thing that I wonder about is maybe they're gonna add some sort of diving. They don't talk about it, but everything in the game already tells me that they should. For example, you can go to this massive aquarium and there's these turtles and sharks and stuff like that. So the assets are available. And we can also go the Animal Crossing route where you can dive and get things like sea urchins. Now, the tiers are to be expected, and as always, there are some ridiculously priced tiers, which I personally don't like. So you have your game key, thank you letter, and 5 backer wallpapers set to $25. There was an early bird edition for $20, but I feel like by the time this video is out, they might have surpassed the limit of the 300 copies for this. After that, you get all of the previous rewards plus alpha test access for $35, which I think is insane because in this world, you are paying to alpha test, to do the testing for a game. You should be paid, not the other way around. I don't know why devs do that these days. Why am I paying more to not only get the game, but I'm also testing it for you? Make it make sense. I don't think it makes sense, but a lot of you think it makes sense, so here we go. I guess the added benefit would be like, okay, they're gonna take my player feedback into account and do more stuff that me and the community who are alpha play testing this, are going to, like whatever changes we say, they might take it into consideration, but I still think this is a crazy concept to be paying this much more for alpha testing. And from there, you start getting more cosmetic stuff, the more you pay. I don't like when Kickstarters do that. They are asking for so much money for simple cosmetic items. You even have a $10,000 tier. This is insane. But let me know, what kind of tier do you usually support when you look into Kickstarter campaigns? Now, the game is planned to release in Q4 of 2025, so I hope that your wallet is ready because we have so many freaking games coming out this year. I don't know how we're gonna be playing all of them. They're planning to have the PC version on Steam ready first. They also answered someone's Kickstarter comment where they mentioned that they're going to work on a Switch 2 port, and I think this is an awesome idea. I got to play the Switch 2 and a ton of games on it, and the new mouse feature is gonna be incredible for a game like this, but also the upgraded hardware means that it can probably run this game. I doubt that the Switch 1 is gonna run this. They also mentioned that they're actively working on adapting the game for consoles. I tried the game with a controller and it works great, so this is a step in the right direction, and they're planning for a global alpha test which includes a more polished English version soon. But before Starsand Island comes out, we have Fantasy Life, and I have a video covering everything that you need to know before you pre-order that. I will see you in that video. Thank you so much to my YouTube and Bubbly patrons for making videos like this possible, and a shout out goes to the Game Dimension, Jake Logan, Will, and Neha for going the extra mile. Until next time, stay bubbly.